Hello, thank you for joining me today. So I am going to talk about my favorite paper planner today, and it's kind of been my annual tradition around this time of the year, and I would just like to again share that with you, my current planner, and then the new one that I just purchased, and it came in the mail, and so here it is. So if you watch my previous videos before, so I've been doing it for a few times now, and this is my current planner. It's called the Law of Attraction Planner, or I think the other name for the company is called Freedom Mastery. I don't know if you can see it. Freedom Mastery. Now this is my current one, and it's you can see it, it's faded. Some of the metallic print on there. That means I just really use it. I actually use it every day. This is what I can show you that, let's see, what am I going to do? So, I work on it. I actually mark my time on my planner just so that I can have a record of what and how I spend my time on a daily basis. Then I can adjust it, or you know what, especially when it comes to planning, I normally, now this is towards the end of the year, so there's really not much I'm writing on there, right? And usually I will have slots written there that the appointment that I have already set up, so that I can have a glance on the week. Let's say I'm planning for next week, and I'll say, well, I need to do something, and I can see at a quick glance how what would be the best day if when do I have time, so I don't overwhelm myself. Now, again, this is the holiday season, so I don't have anything planned other than stay home and organize. This is my newest one. It just kind of came through the mail. I just opened the wrap beforehand, so you don't have to waste your time and watch me to unwrap it. But so this is the cover. I got the, I think it's called a premium one or something like that. And so this time I get the purple. I think purple is a pretty new color, and I have never had this color before, and I love the fact that they actually try to come up with different colors. So every year so far, I am using a different color. I remember the first year I was using a green one with the tree of life, and then the next year I might have been using a gold one, which is the astrology wheel. I think there might be one more in between that I just don't remember what it was. And then I have, this might be my fourth one. And then this is, if that was the fourth one, then this is the fifth one. So I, again, picked the astrology wheel again. And that's the pattern that, I'm using. It's the second time around. And I do have another story to share with you, maybe in another video. Maybe I'll put a link on it so that you can see. So now this is brand new. You see the edges is coated, right? And by the time it becomes end of the year, you can see most of the metallic coated color edges, it's all gone, because I kind of flip through it every day. And you can see it still hold up though, you know what I'm saying? You can tell the corner is a little bit bent. This is the older one. The current one, this is a brand new one, which I just opened the package, and it's pretty. The edges, it's all gold, right, printed, and then it comes with a little pocket at the end, so you can put receipts or whatever paper, and then it gives you a bunch of thank you, calendar, sticker, a lot of stickers. But for me, sorry, I dropped it. I used to be a sticker person when I was little. And I used to have sticker books. I think it's somewhere, somewhere. And I don't do that anymore. So I just gave it to my kids, but I don't think they ever use it. So some people love, love, love stickers, but for me, I just write on it. And so I'm going to kind of go over, that's a quote by Gandhi. Keep your thoughts positive because your thoughts become your words. Keep your words positive because your words become your behavior. Keep your behavior positive because your behavior becomes your habit. Keep your habits positive because your habit becomes your values. Keep your values positive because your values becomes your destiny. Right? So true. I just want to go over really quickly. It kind of gives you space for life statement, mission statement, this planner belongs to, right? And then there's a QR code. I think that might be new to get help you to get some free bonus gift. And then there's planner index if you have anything important. I just never used it, but maybe I should. So this is what is really cool. So it shows you the law of attraction roadmap. So it kind of guides you, provides you a map for you to help you to build a stronger foundation, stay clear, build a healthy habit. And then the next one is talk about questions to empower your day. And then it shows you your vibration, right? Are you feeling blissful or you're feeling depressed, right? It's kind of on a scale. And then what you can do every day: meditate, visualize, and spend time in nature. So these are the action steps that you can take, right? To increase your emotional vibration. And that is so, so important. What kind of self-care you can do, what kind of giving back, what kind of entertainment. And then what I really love is that they ask you questions, so it can help you to be on a self-discovery journey to increase your awareness, your mission and vision statement. So they just kind of guide you through it. So a lot of times I think it's really hard for you to say, hey, what's your purpose? What's your mission? Right? And what's your mission statement? And sometimes it's just really hard for you to come up by yourself. But by answering these questions that they have prepared for you, I think it really helps to guide you, to help you to really get in touch with your soul and your heart, so that you have a little bit, maybe hopefully an easier time to come up with it, to get in tune with yourself and come up with those. And then it helps you to goal setting, right? And then it really breaks out the different areas of your life that you want to focus on, and what are those goals related to each of the area. And then these are the rewards that you're going to give it to yourself whenever you achieve your goals. And then you first of all have to set your goals. And then this part, it shows your journey, right? In each of the area, where are you now? Where are you going, and how do I get there? So that's really helpful. And I would really recommend, and then it further breaks it down, right? So for you to do your, what's that called? You do the take out from the magazine. I'm drawing a blank. Visual board or something like that. Can't remember now, sorry. Your most important life goals, right, in each of the area. And then create your life statements. What are you grateful for? And then a couple more pages to help you set your goals. habits and people, create a new supportive story, into reprogramming yourself, and helping you to break the bigger goals into smaller ones, more bite-sized, so you have a better idea and better grip today, right? So that you can take a little bit of steps on a daily basis. So that kind of concludes the goal setting, your mission and life statements and all that things. And I just remember that years ago, before I started using this particular planner, I have never set any goals in my life. I have never think about what my mission statement is. I just kind of live life like everyone else, or at least most of the people, just take one day at a time. I just kind of let things happen to me. It's like, well, whatever needs my attention, then I'm going to, go to it. And the thing is that I didn't notice then until I am here now, and I can see that before, how I spent time, it was never intentional. It was like, hey, if A wants me to go to east, I'll go to east. If B wants me to go to west, I'll go to west. So I never really put my own needs and desire and whatever that my soul wants to be the top priority. So, it's just kind of like one of the analogy that I love to use is like you're just kind of floating on a raft in the middle of the ocean and not knowing where you're going to end up. If you end up on an island, then you're really lucky. But, 99% of the time, you might not. You might just keep on floating and floating, right? And not knowing what to do. And you're in the middle of nowhere. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can help you. So and then it's time to ask yourself, do you really want it to be that way? Do you want it to live your life that way? So it's just depending on the mercy of so and so, right? And so that's why a lot of times we always felt like, hey, it's so unlucky, how come I'm always the one with the bad luck? And how come I never really amount to anything in life? That's because we never really set our intention, our goal, our what we want to achieve, what it's really, that is something that's really important. Have we even taken the time out to even think about it? And I would say a lot of people know. And I was exactly on that boat back then that, what's the point of planning? Because it will never come to fruition. But the fact that because I failed to plan, of course, that will never come to fruition. Just like if you have some seeds with you, and then you were like, what's the point of planting those seeds? Because, they will never come to anything. And of course, if you don't plant it, you will never get it, right? I mean, I'm talking about in the garden. Of course, you can go buy it, but I'm just using the storyline that, hey, if you want to grow some trees and some vegetables, you have to actually do the planning, do the work, so that it will, and then allow it to grow, so that it will actually, when it comes to harvest time, you can actually harvest it, so your hard work will pay off. So I'm moving on to the next page of the planner. So it starts off with the monthly view, right? So what I love is it gives you a lot of space to put in your maybe goal for the month, your intention and your habits to learn. And then it just gives you space, here on really what do you want to achieve on a monthly basis. Because again, nobody can achieve things overnight. So you just have to break it down, right? So that it will be bite-sized. And then you will not be overwhelmed by, like, hey, let's say you want to travel around the world, maybe on a cruise ship or whatever, it's really overwhelming. It's like, well, how do you even start planning for this trip to travel around the world? Maybe you start off on a the first country you want to visit, you know, you do a little bit research and then you see the nearby. So one step at a time, right? And maybe how much money you need to save and how are you going to, where you're going to be staying on a cruise ship or you hostel, whatever that is, a hotel, right? You know, so it always takes planning. And the part that a lot of times I felt like I'm speaking from my own experiences. I don't plan because it just feels way too overwhelming. And the key is to just break it down, you know, recognize what is your overall goal and then break it down into a smaller goal. And, you know, maybe find a buddy to help you to say, hey, you know, I really wanted to do this. What do you think that it's the first step that I can start focusing on? So that's the next page. You know, it starts with the weekly review. I picked the Sunday, right? Because that's what I'm used to. I think they might have something that starts on a Monday and then ends on a Sunday. So it really up to you. And then it gives you the week's priority. And then you have 3 top priority for the day. And then, hey, you know, if you do all 3 per day, you have 21 items that you can check off on a weekly basis. And then that's your to-do list. That's to help you to build habits. So for me, what I do is I put down my vitamins here, and then I would check off, and I would put the amount that I intake, and that helps me to keep track of. Sometimes I forget, so you know, it's just a way for me to keep track of it. And then the meditation and exercise, I do that as well. And then it has a little quote here on every page, and every one of them is different. So it's really inspiring as well if you're into quotes. And so what I do on the weekly is, like I said earlier, I will block out the time and say, let's say on a Monday, every Monday I have a meeting from 11 to 12, and I would block it off. And so, and I would use different colors, you know, maybe for me personally, I do orange for some reason. I just pick orange. And then let's say for my kids, like they would, you know, sometimes I would have a 10 meeting for them, right? And then I will use their colors so that I can see, you know, so it's not everything it's the same. And then I can actually spot out right away, like whose appointment is that for. And then every week it's pretty much the same. Let me keep on going to the next. To the next one is they actually give you a little bookmark thing. It has information on there. But it gives you a monthly review, 2-page. Your top 10 achievement. What did you learn? Your distraction and emotional blocks. How did you make yourself feel good? And what did not happen and why, right? And then it kind of helps you to keep track of your different areas, you know, like where you are and what can use some improvements. And then here's are some of the questions for you to really reflect on, like what have you learned, what can you how's your progress, and what obstacles you're facing. Did you notice anything about your emotional vibration, and do I really enjoy what I'm doing this month? And from that, you know, you can actually reflect on. And then after that, they have 2 empty pages per month at the end of the month, and then it kind of helps you to jot down your ideas and notes. And that's really, really helpful. And then it just kind of repeats itself. And then let me go to the end to show you. Let's say this is the end of December, right? And the next page is a 2 empty page for your ideas and notes. And then the next page, it's actually for you to reflect on the year. So it's very similar to the monthly reflection, but it's actually for the year. And so what you can do is you can look back at what you wrote per month, and then you can kind of synthesize it and make it a summary, like, okay, you reviewed it. I was like, okay, so this is the main theme of the year. What's your major achievements and things like that. So I think that's really helpful as well. Let's say for the end of this year, I can actually reflect that and maybe look back at the previous year's goal and see how far I've come and what have I achieved, what have I not achieved, things like that. And then the back pages, it's a bunch of empty pages for you to take notes, right? Jot down your ideas, just a place for you to keep your thoughts together. And then the last one, it's a world map. You can actually see perhaps maybe where you want to go, or the places you have already visited. So that's really cool. And then it comes with 2 ribbons. Let me see if I can get it. Two ribbons so you can mark your places. And then it comes with elastic so you can hold it together, and then the slot for pen that you can put. So one of the things I want to go back on the monthly reflection, because sometimes we tend to forget, right? What did I even do last week, right? And so I just wanted to share with you that one of the things that I do is I journal on almost a daily basis. Sometimes I skip on the weekends, just depending on how busy I am. And a lot of times I do that usually after my meditation. Then I can just kind of write down what kind of fear shows up, or what kind of blockages, or what came up during meditation, or even throughout the day. Sometimes, when you're in the middle of it, things pop up, a thought would pop up, and then you apologize, and I think that was my phone. But so what I do is I would write it down on a notebook. So I like to use a really nice notebook to really jot down my ideas, or sometimes it's synchronicity that I actually came across on a daily basis. Like a lot of times I see 1111, 222, or I see a special car on the road, and I would just write it down. Just sometimes it's nice to have a place to, like, you can notice patterns. Like for me, it's always great to have a place to go back to and just reflect on, was I, why was I sad for the whole week? Or, what happened that I was so excited and happy for the whole week? Things like that. You can start like noticing patterns, and maybe you can draw some kind of conclusions, or some kind of aha moment and realizations, like, oh, I am this, or I feel this because of this, So it's just really, really helpful, and sometimes it's fun for me to look back. Sometimes it's just noticing patterns, and I like working with patterns, because I know then I can see, or maybe feel, and understand, where I am still stuck at, right? So if every day I complain like, oh, I'm tired and I feel overwhelmed, then I wanted to look at the pattern and wanted to understand why I feel overwhelmed during those time periods. Then I can make adjustment, or I can do some work on myself, and just always have room to improve. That's how kind of see myself. I work on myself every day. I always ask questions like why am I, let's say, maybe procrastinating on something, or why am I not feeling having the motivation to do something? Then I wanted to have the opportunity to examine myself. So I just want to share this with you, and I have something really cool regarding the planners and not a story. So I thought it would be great to put it in another video, and I can post the link, and then you can check it out if you feel like it. And I think that's it for today, and thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions or concern. Again, I am going to be really excited to be using the new one, along with some digital calendar as well. All right, I will see you next time. Bye.